Hello from Precision Assess. If you're a caregiver or you run an adult family home here in Washington, I bet you've run into this. It's such a frustrating question, right? You have a client who needs that intensive one-on-one support, but who in the world actually pays for it? Well, in this guide, we're going to give you the clear, simple answer. So let's just dive right in. Picture this. You've got a client with some really significant behavioral needs. They need constant supervision just to be safe. But when you try to get funding for what's called Individualized Behavioral Support Services, or IBSS, it can feel like you're just hitting a bureaucratic brick wall. So for real, who pays the bill? You know what? We're going to cut right through all the noise. Let's just start with the single most important fact you need to know about how IBS is funded. This is really the key that unlocks everything else. And here it is. The crucial point is this. IBSS is exclusively a Medicaid benefit. Here in Washington state, that program's called Apple Health. So it is not funded by private insurance, and it's not funded by standard Medicare. It's an Apple Health service, full stop. Just understanding this one fact is going to save you countless hours. And if you look, the funding source is built right into the definition. See that? IBSS isn't just some service that Medicaid happens to cover. No, it was actually designed from the ground up, specifically as a Medicaid-funded service for clients in the Apple Health system who need that constant one-on-one supervision. So, okay, knowing it's an Apple Health benefit is step one, but step two is just as important. The state doesn't actually manage this program directly. Instead, it contracts with a very short, very specific list of companies to handle these services. And that's it. That's the whole list. There are only 4. These are what we call managed care organizations, or MCOs, and they're the only ones with a contract with Washington State for IBSS. What this means for you is, if your client needs these services, they absolutely must be enrolled in a plan managed by one of these 4 organizations. Now, this is where so many people waste a ton of time. They're making calls to insurance companies that were never ever going to cover this service in the first place. So let's just clear that up right now so you know exactly where to focus your energy. The breakdown is really pretty straightforward. If your client is covered by an Apple Health plan from one of those 4 MCOs we just listed, then IBSS is a real possibility. But if they only have a private plan, like a Premera or a Regence, or if they only have a Medicare plan, the answer is a hard no. IBSS just isn't a covered service under those types of insurance. But here it is. This is the most common point of confusion. What about those clients who have both Medicare and Medicaid? This is really common, especially for older adults or those with disabilities. We call them dually eligible. So does their Medicare plan automatically disqualify them? And the answer, thankfully, is no. As long as they have an eligible Apple Health Medicaid plan, that's the side of their coverage that funds IBSS. The Medicare part of their insurance, well, it isn't even used for this specific service. It's all handled by their Medicaid MCO. So yeah, being dually eligible is not a barrier at all. So how do you simplify all this for the next time? When you're checking a new client's eligibility, really it all just comes down to one golden rule. I want you to just remember this number, 4. Forget about all the other insurance complexities for a minute. Your first and really your only question should be about those 4 specific MCOs we talked about. This is your ultimate shortcut. So here's the rule. When you're looking at a client, just ask yourself, is their health plan CHPW, Molina, United Healthcare, or WellPoint? If the answer is no, then they do not currently qualify for IBSS funding. It really is that straightforward. So there you have it. You've now got the most critical piece of the funding puzzle. You know it's Apple Health, and you know the 4 specific providers. But this opens up the next big question, doesn't it? Because just having the right insurance doesn't automatically mean they get the service. So, what specific behaviors and needs actually make a client eligible for IBSS? Now that's the next step. If you need help with that part of the process, feel free to reach out to us at Precision Assess.